So Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, we're finally back.
Verstappen won this one last year by a pretty healthy margin.
Shocking news.
Well, it shouldn't shock you that he is also a heavy favorite this weekend.
I looked it up and I was like, why don't they just say, like, no one else should race? Like, they should just start putting that. Or they should just, like, have him and then everyone else, like, he should just have a different race all by himself, which is pretty much what it's like.
Well, so that's pretty much, like, what I'm trying to look at here, because, like, you can bet, like, the winning margin.
Right.
But, like, Verstappen to win by, like, 10 seconds is minus money. Like, you have to bet for it to be close to make money. Like,
right. And
it's not going to be close.
That's honestly insane, because in 10 seconds in F1 racing is, like, massive. I mean, it's wild.
He's too good.
Yeah.
The only value I found, you could get minus 125 for him to have the fastest lap and win the race.
Okay.
Which feels like a no-brainer, because if he doesn't have the fastest lap going into the last lap, he'll just bleed off 30 seconds of time to pit and go to softs and win the race. Like, we've seen him do it twice. Like,
I know. God, it's so infuriating to watch. As, like, just again, of a fan of racing, like, he just makes it less fun.
See, and, like, for me, because I'm new, I don't know anything else. It's just Verstappen is this good and everyone else is not good. It's like I hear Mercedes talk about, like, their car improvements and how much better they're going to be, and then they come out and, like, McLaren smokes them. It's like, oh, well, maybe Red Bull's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like if you talk to people that have watched F1 racing for years now, this is kind of how everyone felt about Mercedes, right? Mercedes won 7 years in a row. I mean, they were pretty much, it was Hamilton or no one. Like, it was the very similar feel of, like, he won pretty much everything. There wasn't really much of a contest for 7 years. And then, the last few years have been obviously more of a battle, and with Verstappen winning last year. And then, now this year is just like the Verstappen show, which again feels like apparently what it used to feel like. But I don't love that either way. As someone that watches racing, it may be a U.S. person with low attention span and wanting more drama. I don't know what else it is kind of equated to, but yeah, I just want it to be closer races. Like, I'm fine with Verstappen always winning if he's genuinely, clearly the better driver right now. He's got the best car, but, like, to at least have a race would be nice.
Yeah, like, you don't want the highlight battle to be 7, 8, 9. Like, it's just, it doesn't have the same gravitas to it as, like, a 1, 2, 3 tight race. It's like, right, we've had some really good racing. It's just been in the back of the grid.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like, will they get 3 points for the championship or not? Like, yeah, definitely is less fun.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like Perez's car has been so good,
right?
Despite his struggles.
Right.
It's like, that's almost where you have to pull the drama from. Like, does Red Bull double podium? Because, like, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And it's, like, all based on Sergio's skill. It's like, that shouldn't be where you're, like, stressed about your points coming from. It's like, lock in 26 points for Verstappen and then go from there. Like,
yeah. I know they're saying that it's like, I saw an article that was like, in record-breaking time, he may get the championship here.
I think it's Japan he can clinch.
Yeah. Which
is it's coming.
Which is, yeah. Yeah. And which is, like, from what I understand, it's like in record break, like, it's like one of the fastest times anyone's ever, like, claimed the championship or something of that nature.
Well, and the Constructors' Cup is almost set too, because Red Bull hasn't lost a race.
Right. Not only has not lost a race, but it's been, like, the past few weeks, or not the past few weeks, but Leclerc, like, at the beginning, the Ferraris were doing really well, right? And then Mercedes has been kind of towards middle, and then now all of a sudden,
McLaren came on.
McLaren is winning, right? So, like, the instability of the teams But like Red Bull just being on top, like makes it to where no one else is even in the race for it because it's like they're either bumping up and down and
That's the
it's
thing. It's
just
like
Red
one,
Bull.
two, 1-3, 1-5. It's like you're getting 50 points a week.
Right, right. So yeah, it's been interesting to watch. I mean, I'm excited for McLaren. Like it's cool to see. I know that they've struggled. They've gone back and forth. It's kind of fun to watch them, succeed. I love little Lando. Lando's like so sweet, or seems so sweet. So I like them to do well, but yeah, I
I'm
mean,
excited for next year when Lando and Verstappen are both on Red Bull.
there's no way. There's no way it happens. It's the same thing with, because I don't know. Again, this is before you were watching, but I mean, this is why sweet Danny Ricciardo, my favorite Ricciardo after my heart forever. Um, this is why he left Red Bull because he was like, I'm not going to be a number two. So to be a number one, like Lando is very clearly the number one for McLaren. He's not going to leave to be behind Verstappen. It's just not going to. No really good racer is
Oh,
going to do
I
it.
don't know.
I don't.
Hang
I
out
don't.
with your best friend all the time.
I don't think they have enough, like the drivers are too good and have too much pride to just take it for money, because I'm sure the money was probably there for him,
Oh
but
yeah.
I think he, like I said, he's going to want to win, and he knows if he's up against Verstappen, they're going to tell him to back off and let Verstappen win every time. It's just, and that's why Danny Ricciardo, I mean, that's why Ricciardo was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not a number two racer, which again, LOL, he ended up, we all know where that was, out and and now licking his wounds trying to come back.
Well, and is he the number one racer at AlphaTauri?
Oh
When
god.
both cars suck, is there really a number one driver?
Right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I honestly, I know like Christian loves Danny Ricardo. So I could see Ricardo bumping up, which I know again a lot of people, whatever you want to say about him, that he's just there for the looks and the fun of it. I mean, he's one of the top selling drivers and literally did not win didn't even place last year. I don't even think he got points last year. I don't think he finished in the top 8 once last year. And he was almost one of the highest selling driver, like his stuff. So I get he's very popular, like his personality, he's fun. But I know Christian really did like him a lot and was like confused why he was struggling so much everywhere. So I could see eventually them wanting to bring him up to Red Bull, but I mean, that's only if Sergio goes
I,
somewhere else, like, or
yeah,
finds somewhere else that wants him more. Like, I think it's his spot until it's not, until he doesn't want
I,
it.
I'm super excited to see Red Bull treat AlphaTauri more like a farm team than they have in the past. I know they've consolidated some of the leadership, and it's
Yeah.
because AlphaTauri is awful. So like, I'm really excited for them to be like, oh, Sergio, you had a bad race. You're driving for AlphaTauri next week. Like, you said like up and down. Treat it like AAA for baseball.
I
Like,
don't think they
I
can
want.
do that. I don't think you can go up. I mean, they definitely pull from that team up because they did that with Alex Albon, like way back in the day. Like he did get pulled up. Um, but I don't know that you could just like drop him back to a different team. I'm not.
That's what I want. I want it to all be performance based. Like, hey, that one lap you had that caused you not to podium. Like, AlphaTauri week for you.
Like timeout, like he just gets it.
Yeah, yeah. And then one of the AlphaTauri drivers gets to come up and come in fifth place in the second fastest car in the sport.
What if then hear me out, what if he wins in AlphaTauri? Like, you had a bad week, go back, and then he like somehow wins. Now, do those points count for him as the control? Like, where does that go?
There is one driver in the sport that could win a race in an AlphaTauri, and he's not ever going to drive an AlphaTauri.
That would be really fun to watch. I would pay
Cool.
big money to watch Verstappen in whatever team score at the end of this year, whatever team scores the lowest, like gets the least amount of points, finishes last the most, whatever, poor Sargent. Like, I want that team to be the one that then he
Yes.
drives for next year, and like put your money where your mouth is. You're that good of a driver.
Or just do it as like an exhibition. Like put Hamilton in an Alpine, put Verstappen in an AlphaTauri. Like let's put the good drivers from these good teams that are used to having the best of everything. Let's put them in the bottom half of the constructors here and just see what happens. Just do it for fun.
100% into that. I would love that so much. Also to see Sargent in a Red Bull and like just give him one shot. Just give him a chance.
Right into the wall. Right into the wall. It's too much power.
That would be a fun race. Whatever it is, like
awesome.
mix it up wherever I would absolutely pay big money to see it. I would go.
Just pick them out of a hat, you know? Like
yeah.
I want to see Stroll driving a Williams.
And then that'd be fun. I'm totally in for that. Well, so Verstappen, who you got second? Who you got, like, anyone else you feeling?
They've had
some relaxation time, some time to think about what they've been doing.
Yeah, some time off, and I haven't heard about any upgrade packages they're trying to put in. So I think for me, it's the McLarens. I think I like Lando to podium. So that would be my pick for second. Those McLarens looked really, really good.
Yeah. I'm torn. You know me, I love Hamilton, and I really want him to find his like groove. It's just not really working out. He did fourth the last race, so
I believe so.
I know that he was at the beginning saying he wanted to build on that, and you know that they were going to, but I also would like Leclerc. I feel like Leclerc had such a good year starting out. Ferrari had such a great start out, and then they have just disappeared.
It's not been good for Ferrari. I feel like I haven't seen a red car up in front in quite some time here.
Yeah, it's really confusing what happened. I mean, they came out so strong, and that's where I don't know for sure enough about the cars to understand, like, what happened. Like, I don't get it.
Well, Leclerc blew an engine like 4 or 5 races ago, and they just haven't been the same. So I don't know what they changed or responded to with that. I'm not a car mechanic either, but I feel like ever since he lost that engine and they had he didn't finish, and I think the other car was like outside the top 10. It was a horrible race. I can't remember what track that was, but I feel like since then we just haven't really seen the Ferraris perform on race day.
Right. Well, we could also just, say, let's call it, maybe it was like Australia. I mean, because we're really good at guessing and just spitting straight facts out of nowhere. So let's go back.
I think Australia is a race we completely forgot about.
Yeah. It might have been like Australia. It feels right. Like Australia is where they really lost their step.
Oh man.
Gosh.
Well, I'm excited for the races in the United States coming up here. I'm excited for races that aren't at 6 a.m. Arizona time.
I know, right? Zoomies in the morning are really getting rough. Yeah.
It's football season now. So it's like if we start at 6 a.m. Arizona time, like it's a long day.
Football by the end of the night, you're just all day. I mean, that's a lot of shots. some solid field goals, and it's just a rough day for you. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I cannot wait for Vegas, honestly. Like, it is going to be such a cool, the promo stuff on it, like of them driving on the street, like is going to be so cool. And they're doing like a US, I don't want to call it tour, but when they're coming here, there's a bunch of drivers kind of popping all over. There's some stuff in Nashville I've been seeing, like advertisements for, the drivers are going to come down and like race a little bit in Nashville, like show off the cars in Nashville, which is wild because, I mean, they're not racing in Nashville or not even close, but I'm into it. I'm excited. Ricardo's coming, which makes me really happy to Nashville.
You'll have a chance to meet him. You gonna go down there?
This is my moment to meet him and be, I don't know, best friends. I think I just want to be best friends with him. He seems like he'd be a freaking blast. Like, I just want to be friends.
I feel like AlphaTauri, the brand, the clothing brand, I feel like they have like a leather bomber jacket in like white and the navy blue that I think you could probably pull off. But you got to get some AlphaTauri clothing if you want them to notice you.
Just rock it. There's gonna be so many people with Ricardo gear. I can't even imagine. I genuinely can't. But yeah, Vegas is super exciting. We're getting a few months. We're getting close.
Yeah, it's what that end of Beginning of November, maybe. So this is the
Beginning of
last race of the year, right?
Yeah, beginning of November. Yeah, it'll be super cool. I'm excited. Yeah, but I'm excited for this weekend. I'll be
Yeah.
interested to see what ends up happening. It's going to be,
Yeah.
I
Just
mean,
I
this
want some
track,
excitement.
well, I was going to say, this track isn't anything super special. There's nothing really, like, from what I remember, like, there's nothing super fun or crazy. So I feel like it's just going to be a landslide for Verstappen.
Sorry to any Dutch Grand Prix fans that happen across our video. But your track
I
is
mean, you're fine. No, it's a great. I mean, I love the Dutch. And the other ones are my favorite. I just don't think there's anything super special about this track. Like, it's just a pretty straightforward track. So Verstappen should, and it's his like home field, home whatever.
Oh, that's right. He's Dutch, right?
Yeah. So this is his race, his moment. Maybe we should bet like he wins by 30 seconds.
Like I said, there's no value. Like I was looking for lines, and there's no value in betting it. Like,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me because like he's that much better than everybody else. It sucked all the value out of all the bets.
I mean, it happens.
So,
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
yeah, I'll get on Lando to podium and cheer for that, I guess.
I like that. Cheer for Hamilton. Let's just put it in the universe. Hamilton's gonna podium. I'm putting it out there.
You cheer for Hamilton. I am not.
I'll put my shot on Hamilton. Hamilton to podium. I got my shot on it.
All right, so I need to go a little longer than Norris then to make this fair, right? I got Piastri top 6.
Okay. I like Gastry. He's sweet. He's has a lot of moments of really good and a lot of moments of very bad. He's like very.
That's fair. Part of it's the damn car.
So it goes. So we've learned.
It's crazy to me. That's one of my biggest takeaways in my first year here is that like the difference between the number 1 car and the number 2 car is crazy. It's crazy. Because like Piastri was driving better than Lando for most of that race. I can't remember what race it was where they finally came on. And
that was after Australia. So
it was definitely after Australia, but it's like the number 1 car gets all of the benefit of the testing and stuff they're doing on the number 2 car, and it's like you get the better of all the parts, and then you get the benefit of all the fine tuning, and it's just that was one of the craziest things to me because I thought like, oh, they're carbon copies of each other, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
Just news to me. I didn't know that coming in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Dutch Grand Prix. Should be good. We'll be back with you guys in a week. I think we got one like every week and a half or so here. The rest of the way,
take that like summer break and then they pretty much hammer out the rest of the year.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Kate, and we'll see you guys soon.